As far as Trump tweets this morning, it was a very nice tweet, actually, for a change. It says, Melania and I send our thoughts and prayers to Senator McCain, Cindy, and their entire family get well soon. And I actually have to hit like on that one. Shows that somewhere in there is a heart. And we know that Senator McCain has recently gotten an operation and has brain tumor. So we do send best regards to him and his family at this time. Also in the news, apparently Trump is making threats to senators and also making threats to Tumor. He doesn't want to show his finances. You know, when he was running for president and people were saying, why should he have to show his tax returns? And a friend of mine, who I respect dearly, who is definitely a Trump fan, said the same thing. I don't understand why he should have to show his tax return. And I said to her, all the other people who were running for president showed theirs. What does he have to hide? And whenever I would tell people, what does he have to hide? What's the problem with it? Why is it that everybody else doesn't have a problem showing their tax returns, and Trump is standing up for his right not to show his tax returns, and his Trumpsters are saying, well, he doesn't have to show his tax returns. Why should he have to show his tax returns? And I'm like, everybody else who ran for president did. What does he have to hide? Why aren't people thinking of these things? Why aren't they asking, what does he have to hide? Why are they so defending? Why should he have to show his tax returns? Okay? Everybody else did. Well, if everybody else jumped off a bridge, would you? No, I'm not that stupid. But if I didn't want people to think I had something to hide, I wouldn't have a problem showing it. The thing is that he seems to have a lot of things to hide. And if he doesn't have something to hide, why does he continue to act like he has things to hide? Why does he have these private conversations with Putin? That the only ones who know what's being said is him and Putin. Why can't he show his tax? Why is he threatening to fire Mueller if he asks for his tax returns? Why does he keep interrupting investigations concerning his administration? If Trump is not involved and it's just his administration and he's completely innocent, he just chose the wrong people, why isn't he open to say, hey, nothing to hide here, and I'll prove it to you? Because you can't just take someone's word for it in a situation like this. I mean, Trumpsters, come on, seriously? If this wasn't Trump, and this was a friend of yours or someone you knew, and there were a lot of suspicions around this person, are you just going to take their word for it? Well, you might. I've made that mistake a couple of times, just taking the word for it of people who claim to be innocent when many people would tell me, no, they're not. And I decided to, okay, I'll take this person's word for it. Now, I can give you two different examples in my life, and one of them, the person who made that claim, it was one person, and this is a person who was talking behind my back as well. So I didn't, take the word for it of this particular person. I took the word for it as a person who was saying to be innocent, and I allowed this person into my life, and she was completely innocent, and she was a great woman. Then there was another time where somebody had told me a friend of mine is not so innocent, and I had decided to take the word of the person, again, who claimed to be innocent, but other people were saying, hey, watch out for her, hey, watch out for her, hey, watch out for her. And I thought, well, I was a kid that was made fun of, so I had a lot of people saying stuff about me, too, that weren't true. So once again, I decided to, okay, I'll take this person in, and this person backstabbed me. Okay? Now, yes, it is possible that there could be a lot of people against one person. It is possible. I know that. I've had it happen to me. Okay? But there comes a time when there's so much smoke that if you decide I'm going to think for myself, I'm going to check this person out, I'm going to decide for myself whether or not this person can be trusted. That's cool. You should think for yourself. But once there's so much smoke around that person, that there's so much fire around that person, once that person has become very deceptive, there comes a time you have to open your eyes and say, whoa, I made a mistake and I might have to back off before I get hurt. Well, in this case, it's not just you getting hurt, Trumpsters. It's us getting hurt as Americans. It's the United States getting hurt. And they're tiptoeing around everything to appease you Trumpsters, but you're not going to be appeased. I would almost bet if Donald Trump had left his mic on or somebody recorded what he was talking about with Putin, and if he was talking about, I'm not saying he was, I'm saying if he was talking about, and it was on camera and on tape, and accidentally got recorded and then put out, something that is treasonous to America, something that is proven treason to America, something that if he gets away with can harm us. Some of you Trumpsters will open your eyes. Other ones will still defend it, and that's not treason, and it's somehow Hillary's fault, or it's somehow Obama's fault, or it's everybody's fault but Trump. Because basically, that's Trump's motto. It's not my fault. No matter what, it's somebody else's fault. The sad thing about not accepting responsibility for your actions, the sad thing about blaming everybody when you make a mistake, is that you put that power into their hands, and 9 times out of 10, they don't want it. But when you accept responsibility for your mistakes, I'm not talking about for others, but for your mistakes, then you can change it. Let me give you an example when I say yours and not others. My late husband was a wonderful man, but like anybody else, he had his faults. He had his shortcomings. When I first moved in with him, he had a blind spot when it comes to his son, as my mom and I used to like to call him the golden boy. And he allowed his son to get away with a lot of things that child should not have gotten away with. And no matter what that child did, it was somehow my fault. Even to the point that I was told my presence causes trouble here. I couldn't open his eyes to that. And I was doing everything I can to help out. I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was taking the child to school, I was bringing the child home. And this child was stealing off of me. This child was destroying things that belonged to me. Because he would ask me a favor and I would say no. He would ask me for money and I would say no. And when I would say no about the money, then the guy at the time I was living with him would say, if he asks you for money, give it to him. It's mine. I'll pay you back anyway. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I can't wait till you pay me back. But the point is one night, I sat there and I had to think to myself, I figured that they should change. They're the ones being abusive. They're the ones wrong. They're the ones, I'm being nice. I'm giving to them. I'm caring about them. I'm helping them. And they're the ones mistreating me. They are the ones that should change. Now, here's what I'm talking about, accepting responsibility for your actions. Okay? It is not and never was and never will be my fault the way that they behaved towards me. They could have chosen a better behavior. He could have chosen to discipline his son. His son could have chosen to treat me better. But they didn't. However, I asked myself a question. What is it about me that attracts this energy towards me? And that's when it came to me that there was only one person who wanted to change. It was me. And no matter how much it seemed like they're the ones that should be changing because they're the ones who were, you know, not behaving appropriately, why should they change? They didn't want to change. They had a doormat with the word sucker written right on it. They had someone that they can blame for everything. They had someone that would do anything for them. They had a sucker. There was no reason for them to change. And that's when I had decided that I would much rather, if I had to, live on the streets than live with them. And at that point in my life, I had nothing to lose. And when I had nothing to lose, I began to change. Not them, me. And that's when I had told the guy that I was living with and later married, I was upset because, he would always tell me that if I had a problem with his son, to tell him and he would handle it. And he usually handled it by giving his son $20 and telling him to leave me alone. Gee, I wonder why it didn't work. And so when I started to change, I said, you know what? I will handle your son the way I want to handle him. You can handle him the way you want to handle him. And if you don't like it, I'll walk out that door. Because this guy often told me, if you don't like it, there's the door. So if you don't like it, I'll walk out the door. And I wasn't bluffing. And he was like, what do I do? I said, well, I guess that's really up to you now, isn't it? Within a couple of days, it might have been the same day. This was many years ago. Tell you how many it was. I was taking his son and his friend to Blockbuster Music. Give you an idea how many years ago it was? And we were in a Silverado, a pickup truck. And his son had one of those high-powered BB guns, and he was shooting out the window. Now, I knew I could not pull over and tell him to get out. The kid will not get out. But I also knew something else. I didn't have a problem off at home. So I pulled over into a driveway, wasn't quite to Blockbuster Music yet, and I says, shoot that gun one more time, and I will park this truck and walk home. Because I'm okay with walking home. But I know you're not. You can't. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, but don't care. And so he said, okay, I won't shoot. And as I was driving, he said, oh, can I shoot at that? No. So he didn't. So we got the Blockbuster Music, and his friend and him and I went into the store for a while, and I looked around and all this and whatnot, and they were listening to music, and I thought I'd give them a little, we were there for a while, and then I said, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. I'm going out to the car. If you're not out in 5 minutes, I'm leaving. So I was giving them a little bit of time. So I went out to the car, and I'm looking at my watch. So I'm really highly doubting that they're going to come out. I had it planned in my mind that if they didn't come out, I was going to go in and give them one warning, and if they didn't come out, then I was going to leave. In 4 minutes, they came out. And him and his friend came in a car, and he says, well, the only reason I'm out here is because my friend said that he thinks you're serious. And I says, well, yeah. I says, I would have came in and gave you a warning first, but yeah. He says, well, if you would have left, I would have told my dad that you just left without saying anything, and you'd have gotten in trouble. I said, I don't care. He says, well, you better care, because Dad would have kicked you out, and I would have simply told Dad that you never even gave me a warning. You just left, and Dad would believe me. I said, I don't care. He says, well, you better care, because Dad would kick you out. I said, do you understand I don't care? I don't care what your dad would do. I don't care what you would do. I don't care what you say. I don't care. I would have left. It's pretty much what happened. Well, I'm telling you this story to tell you that when I made the change, things started to change. And I didn't bluff. I was ready to walk out. And then things started to change. Did it change all right away? No. I mean, I still had to make more and more and more stands. But the reason that I was the doormat was because I allowed them to treat me like a doormat. And when I stopped that, it took a while. It took a lot more stands. But things changed. 9 years after I moved in, I married this man. And the last year we had together was the best year. He was the perfect husband. And then he passed away. But the point of my story is about taking responsibility for yourself. And that's something that the president cannot find it to do. And it's scary that he's leaving our country.